Okay, so there is my new spare wheel, the one that looks bigger and a little fancier. It's actually the same size wheel, but to me it looks like the wheel itself is bigger. And I had no idea that the tires were worn as much as they are. You put these two side by side, you got the brand new one versus the other one. These only have 540 miles on them. See if I can get it to show. So I have a tire tread gauge like the tire shops use. This here, when I check these, they come up 17 millimeter, and check these, they come up 12. So at the rate that these are wearing, unless I do a lot more dunes, that looks like 2,000 miles you'd need new tires. So that's only 540 miles right there. And of course, these are a lot more square because, you know, these are all rounded off from being on gravel and all that. And I do like to drift the corners in the dirt, the gravel, the sand, everything. So that takes a lot of it away. See the little sipe marks in here? They're gone on these. So I was kind of surprised by that. But then when you look at the two wheels side by side, because they didn't have, didn't know when they'd have any of those. That wheel to me, it looks way bigger, but it's the exact same. They're both 15s. This has a little bit different offset. So I'm going to set that on there and see what that looks like. I mean, I want to get some paddles first, but who knows, if I can get these cheap enough, I might buy 3 more and run those for my normal tires and use these Polaris wheels for my spare. I think that looks way sharper. And this right here is the tire sealant that's in there. It's kind of worrying me that the bead hasn't seated quite right yet, but this is a tire that had the spike in it, and it has a patch, and it has that industrial tire sealant, kind of like Rhino. Is it called Rhino? Slime, kind of like slime. So that's still in that tire, that's why. So I'll wash that off, that'll look fine. And then this is what it looks like with 27-inch Dirt Commanders, which is what came on my buddy's 2018, that maroon General that we lifted. I borrowed those stock ones to put on there because I was going to go to the dunes, and I wanted to be able to haul that in the toy hauler and then just be able to take the wheel in so that I could get my spare. So anyway, for tonight, we got to throw that back on there, and I might throw that on there and see how much extra width it adds to it. So here we go. Jack it up and pop those off. There's 27 on the 14-inch wheel, and there's the 30 on the 15-inch wheel. A little bit of difference from side by side. Yeah, I can get there. A little bit more height. So Those 14s have all kinds of room in here. On the front, you got a little heat sink on the brake. And 14 would be a little bit tighter up there. It do fit, but it's a little tighter. Oh, I was curious about that other wheel. Throw that on here first. Out of curiosity. Can't really tell, so if I pull this other one off, I can put that tire on here, and then I can kind of measure off of there. See. Alright. Grab a tape measure and see here. So if I measure from this round part, just kind of eyeballing across the tire. Well, actually, I eyeball across the inside of this tire, and it's right in line with the outboard side of that round tube. So this one here, well, that gives it quite a bit. Huh. This one here, make sure that's pushed on all the way. Yeah. So that one, if I eyeball across that tire, so that sticks out 1 5/8 farther than that one. So if I was to put that wheel on there, that would gain me 3 1/4 inches of width. So I'm already over 64, but most places I go, doesn't really matter. And see if I can get in a good spot to see that. Oh man, that is such a nicer wheel. Look at that front compared to that back. I mean, it looks like the difference between if you were running a 15-inch to a 17-inch to me. Just this bead just blends right in. I know I already said that, but I'm just really surprised at how much that's a simple wheel, but it just looks so much nicer. And it's 1 5/8 wider. So yeah, that's sticking out past the flare now. Granted, it's jacked up, so they're drooping. Oh yeah, that one's sticking inside in the ways. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, we might look into that later on. We might buy 3 more of those. Swap them all out. Although I'd kind of like to have bead locks, but what the heck, that might work. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tighten those up. And that's about it for the adventure of going and getting a spare tire. Showing you the difference between 540 miles of wear versus brand new. Slightly different offset, which I wasn't expecting. Oh, they do take special lug nuts though. Aftermarket wheel, you can't use the Polaris lug nuts. So make sure when you buy aftermarket wheels, you check to see if it'll use the Polaris lug nuts, and if not, if you need to buy correct lug nuts with it. There are locking one, takes a special key, so it'd be harder for someone to steal your wheels. Depending on where you are, that may or may not be an issue. Not really an issue where I live, but you never know where you go camping. If you left a machine at camp and went to town for something, what you'd come back to. in this day and age. All right, anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to comment. It helps the ratings, and we are trying to work our way up to 1,000 or more subscribers, so we will catch you on the next one. Have a good day. Okay, so here's the interesting part. Stock wheel, stock tire, full droop, and see that right there? That tire is actually rubbing the shock when you turn it all the way over. So if you were a full droop and turn that way, you're dragging the tire. Now the chances of you ever being in that position are pretty slim, but I don't think that's a very good design. So now I'll show you if you push it all the way over full the other way. You can see, let's see, get the light in here, maybe you can see. Now, right in there, they got that, all of that cut, and it just barely clears the wheel, the way they got the shape on the back part of this. That's some close engineering to make it where you could see, right, get the light in the right spot. There we go. You can see right there how that's not a smooth cut. It swoops down and then it has another swoop. The way that is sitting, a little tip right there, that fits right around the bead. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Funny, haha. Okay, so I put this wheel on this side, and I want to see what it was like at full droop, since this sticks out a little bit more. In one of the other videos, I put my buddies, what are they? The 15 by 8s on, and looked at how much room there was. So now looking at this one, if I take my tape, this thing's got 14 inches of travel. So if I hold my tape there where a tread would hit, well, up here at the top, I'm not even against the body. That's just, you know, hanging down there. So it looks to me that if you wanted to have a aftermarket wheel and a 32-inch tire, that it would clear this area right up in here with a offset like this one is. You know, on my buddies, he put those 8-inch wheels, which are a 4+4. So that really pushed it out. So there's a chance that if you were to put 32 on with that 4+4 on there, that you're going to hit, because it just pushes that thing way out further, changes the geometry of that thing, making its turn. So I thought that was interesting. So that's what that wheel looks like on there, on the machine. I still just think that is such a nicer wheel than this. I know the lighting's not great, but that doesn't pop in the in the light. This one over here is laying on the ground. Here's the other front tire. I can stand it up, put it next to it so you can see side by side here. Yeah, make it balance. Nope. Put it over here and lean it on the tire. Ooh, almost. Come on. There it is. Alright, so I'll get back here so you can see. I know in the other shot of the video, it's not real great. Alright, there's what it looks like with that wheel on the front. I don't have very good lighting on this side, but the tire sticks out past the flare just barely with the stock tire and wheel. And over here you've got almost a full lug sticking out, you know. So of course you're going to throw more mud up on the vehicle, but it gives you a little bit wider stance without getting out there too far. Yeah, you can't see that at all in this lighting. Anyway, but like I said, it's a good compromise between having a wider offset and not getting crazy and still being able to have enough room to turn a 32 if you were to put that on there, which I am considering at a later date. So right there it looks close, but you don't have a full 14 inches from where I'm sitting. But looks pretty good. I think I've said that about 20 times.